Hey everyone, welcome to the first base video, I guess we'll call this. Um, I'm going to take a little time here to do the preparations for the next chapter and also talk about various topics regarding this game, my feelings on it, so on and so forth, as I get that out of the way and separate it from the main gameplay portions, just so we don't have any too much bleeding over. So, I'll talk about forging real quick since we're here. It works pretty much the same as it did in Path of Radiance, except now you're no longer limited to just forging one weapon per map. You can do as many as you want as long as you have the money for it. Also, any coins that you have will carry over into this as well from clear data if you have it. So, well, not right away, but eventually they will. So, first you pick a weapon and the type. You can change its parameters, like so. I think the most you can upgrade or downgrade something is by 5. You can also change the color of the weapon if you want to be fancy. Give it your own personal touch. And then there you go. You'll spend the money here, and then if you have a coin, you'll be given a bonus chosen at random. I don't have any coins to show that off with right now, but that is something you can do. And I think I'm also going to buy a couple of things from the bargain bin, so... Let's see... I definitely want that Med Staff. I would love the Hand Axe. Beast Killer might be useful. This is a... Yeah, this is a knife that does increase damage against Beast Type Lagoos. And even outside of that, it's still a decent weapon by itself. Yeah, let's do that. This for you. This for you. And this for you. So, I guess something I want to mention, or not really mention, but I guess a good enough way to segue into like this game, why I chose to play it when I did, how I did, because oh boy, it's a story and a roller coaster. I mentioned at the end of my Path of Radiance LP that, oh yeah, we have a new character. But anyway, I mentioned that through that LP I was well. No. Before the LP even started, long before, there was a game called Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and a certain character that joined the battle in that game inspired me to play that game. And my first experience with it was pretty rough. I didn't know what I was doing. But then over time, I started to, practice the ins and outs of it, and then I eventually understood it a little better, and now I think it's a lot of fun. And somehow I came across this, probably through Brawl, where I learned that there was a sequel to this game, which is the game I'm playing right now. And my first experience with this game was even more rough. But, again, I had to take a break from it, came back with a new mindset, and now it's one of my favorite games of all time, to put it in the simplest way possible. These characters are precious to me. Simple as that. And, yeah, that's about more or less the short version. Speaking of characters, let's talk about our new recruit since we picked her up last time. Meg is a sword armor. And, okay one at that. Yeah, armors in this game have, well, a bit of a reputation, shall we say. They're not like awful or anything, but you gotta put in the work. That's just it. Bottom line. For armors that you control anyway, enemy armors are plentiful in this game, and they are pretty annoying. She comes with this little skill called Fortune. Those of you who play Pokemon, you know Battle Armor or Shell Armor. It's the same thing. It nullifies any critical hits. It's okay for what it is. However, Medicare has a high luck growth, so, or at least a decent one at that. So eventually, this is gonna become just, you know, obsolete, useless, whatever. So my recommendation is if you are planning to use Meg for the long term, keep it on until she gets to a decently high level, then take it off and sell it. Because this skill right here is kind of expensive. 20 capacity. Meg herself prioritizes speed and skill over strength and defense, which is both a blessing and a curse. It definitely makes her stand out from the other armors who are definitely more, you know, attack and defense oriented, or at least, you know, are more average. And now this is the part of the video where I go over character viability. Yes. This is something I personally don't like talking about. I think in this game, much like Path of Radiance, you can make anyone good, even the bad characters. Some you definitely need to put in more work than others, and some are just, you know, automatically insanely good right out the gate. Like, in Path of Radiance, I would have said that as long as you avoided using Makalov or Soth, then anyone else is okay. And even then, those two characters, I've seen people, like, do really, really awesome and cool things with those two characters. Just because they're either dedicated or they want to make the impossible happen. This game, however, discussions like that become a lot more heated. Like I said, there are tier lists about this. Plenty of people have them. I myself have one. However, I'm not here to talk about tiers. I'm just here to say, hey, you know, certain characters you will definitely have an easier time using than others. Bottom line, use your favorites, but don't feel bad if you have to, you know, give up that investment and try something else to make something easier for you. And this game does have a habit of handing you overpowered characters at just completely random times. So experiment, try what you like. It's all about, you know, player expression after all, and, you know, making your own adventure. So that being said, Meg, being the coming in at an awkward join time as she does, is only level 3. You look at these other characters, they're all level 7, 8, maybe higher. This is a part of the game where you want to be at least within this range. Not this range, but this range. This range. This range. See what I'm saying? If you're playing easy mode, you can get away with using her. It's no big deal. But on normal and hard modes, you have to work for it. In fact, on hard mode, I would say just strip her of her weapons and skills and, you know, don't use her at all. You'll be saving yourself a lot of headaches in the long run. But again, your game, your playthrough, up to you. Similarly, Soth's usefulness as a wall is going to go down in increments throughout the remainder of this part of the game. He's strong now, but the enemies are going to catch up pretty quickly, like I mentioned in the last chapter. And I do believe this is that the main cause of this is because there's so many characters, then the developers had to divide them up in such a weird way. And the big problem with that is that not every character has an equal amount of playtime. This is a little something that the community refers to as availability. And that the mindset behind that is that a lot of good or strong characters are determined by the amount of availability they have. However, there are characters such as Ilyana, who, by the way, is the #1 character with the most availability in this game, that only end up being average or mediocre at their best. Again, you can make almost anybody in this game good with the right investments, and some require more investments than others. Bottom line, though, it's not the #1 defining factor. It's you know, it's all about, you know, luck and resources and, you know, using them wisely. From my experience, and keep in mind, I'm kind of an old soul, I've definitely been out of the game for a little bit, but characters such as Edward and Leonardo are underdogs, so to say. They start out, well, as they are, and that sometimes you're lucky with them, sometimes you aren't. While other characters, such as Aaron, Ilyana, and even Micaiah, end up being pretty average overall. Sometimes really good, sometimes just meh. And other characters like Nolan are considered god tier because of their own personal utilities. And also maybe some situational use, or better yet, like because of any perks that they may receive outside of hard mode, with the weapon triangle being removed and stuff like that. So that about covers that section of the game, my perspective on it. I don't want to get into it too deeper because I'm afraid if I do that I'm going to start a lot of arguments, but whatever, it's the internet, people are going to argue about whatever they want these days. It's a headache. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I'm going to do what I came here to do. Sure, I should forge a sword for Edward. Get a nice chunk of change out of that. Wait, what's your strength again? 7. Okay, that's fine. Might as well max it out. You know what? Since I demonstrated this color before, let's do it again. I can't type right now. String bean. Don't underestimate it just because it's small. Oh yeah, knives can also be forged, well, you can only forge throwing knives, not daggers. But they are there. We only have thunder and light magic right now. Eventually the other elements will become available. And then much later in the game we'll be able to forge javelins and hand axes, so keep an eye out for that. You also cannot forge longbows. I want to stress this right now. You'll only get iron, silver, and steel. Of the normal variety, anyway. Now, what about supports? Let's see, no one available for you right now. Swapping out that support for Micaiah is really tempting. However, I'm going to wait on that for a little bit. I kind of would like this for, you know, for these next couple of chapters in particular. One, two. Yeah, let's do this. Or should I not? No, I should do this instead. Light increases accuracy, and we need accuracy. Okay, that about does it for me in this video. Next time we will advance the story. See you then.